A tale of two trials. I'm Brian Lilley with TheRebel.media. Two trials, both before Ontario courts today, one in Toronto, one in Ottawa. The media coverage couldn't be any different. Well, I'm outside the Ottawa courthouse on Elgin Street in the nation's capital. Behind me, the empty media riser. The cameras packed up shortly after Mike Duffy himself left for the day. There was still a media horde here today, not quite as big as a week ago when the trial started, but it's still significant. And compare that to the Benjamin Levin trial in Toronto, where there's a smattering of reporters by contrast. It's been this way from the beginning. Very little coverage of Benjamin Levin and wall-to-wall coverage of Mike Duffy. Why the difference? Well, one's a former media figure, a conservative senator, one who is thought to have had the ear of the Prime Minister, or was at least used by the Prime Minister for fundraising. Duffy's accused of having squandered public money, breach of trust, fraud. We know the total, the $90,000 check. He doesn't deny that he put in expense claims, but still says he didn't do anything wrong. Then you got Benjamin Levin, former Deputy Minister of Education, who actually had the ear of the Premier when it came to policy, shaping and crafting, actually writing policy for the largest education ministry in Canada. Prior to that, he was in a similar position in the province of Manitoba, and when he was arrested, he was a professor at the University of Toronto's OISE department, the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education. So this was a man who actually had a hand in writing and shaping public policy versus Mike Duffy. Yep, Mike Duffy voted on it, but he didn't craft public policy. Now, Duffy's charged with fraud and breach of trust. Benjamin Levin charged with several counts of child pornography. He's pled guilty to 3, including counseling a sexual assault, making available child pornography. This is the man that was in charge of Ontario's education system. I'm not saying neither one of these trials shouldn't be covered, but let's take a look at the proportionality. Since Mike Duffy's trial began last week, I did a search on FP Infomart. It's a database of Canadian media stories, covers online, broadcast, print. Since last Monday, Easter Monday, there have been 633 stories on the Mike Duffy trial. That's as of about 3:30 today, Monday afternoon. Now, the Benjamin Levin trial, by example, and he's in court today for sentencing after pleading guilty, 25 stories. 25 versus 633. Since Benjamin Levin was arrested in July of 2013, there have only been 229 stories in FP Infomart. Again, on a man who had an incredible amount of influence on shaping public policy, including public policy that is contentious right now, Ontario's sex ed curriculum. So, is the media just hiding it? Don't they care? Or are they obsessed with Duffy? I think it's a mixture. I've told you why I think some of the coverage here on Duffy is so intense. He is a conservative. We know that the media leans left. He is a former journalist, and many people have an axe to grind against him from their days working with him in the press gallery. And then on the Benjamin Levin side, well, the Queen's Park press gallery, most of them do what they can to protect the Premier, and they don't want to touch anything that might make Ontario's sex ed curriculum look bad. You add all these factors together, and you have disproportionate coverage of one, not enough coverage of the other.